Hi guys, long time no see. As you could obviously tell on screen, we've got a new Ida character, or limited Ida, that I wanted to kind of take a look at and kind of give my thoughts about. Let's take a look. She honestly looks pretty okay, but she looks more like a cleave character, which is why I'm pretty excited about her. But let's get into it. So the first thing that I'll do is make the quality go up. But as you can see, she's got about 12.9% attack from her imprint, which is always nice. And they've got this cool little animation where, oh my goodness, there's so much feet on screen. But her animation and her outfit honestly looks great, alongside the other characters who also look great, like Mercedes, always a big fan. Sorry guys, I'm a bit distracted right now. If you know what I like. Oh my gosh, this is a crazy looking character. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, they really cooked. Honestly, they really did cook. Okay, like I'll be the first to say it. Like, this is a crazy character. Oh my god, wait, her lobby animation has her shirt. Okay, anyways. All right, I got distracted a little bit. So a couple things to know about this character is that most characters that are of the most characters, Ida and her counterpart Solitaria are both, while both being sometimes damage dealing, for the most part they deal with debuffs or with significant like control in their kits. And Ida being 120 base speed here is pretty crazy, just because again I don't know, I thought she would be a damage dealer, and even Solitaria is not this fast. So it's interesting to think if maybe she might be an opener or if she might be a damage dealer. Another really kind of interesting thing to note here is that her attack is decently high here, but she has an imprint of effectiveness despite having no base effectiveness here at all. So curious what she'll be. And she also, of course, doesn't have effect resistance, so she doesn't have the same star sign or the same game plan as Solitaria. Let's take a look at what she's going to be kit wise though, which I will skip around to. Okay, so her skill 3 says the first part of her skill is that, or the first part of her kit is that she collects bubbles to attack all enemies with a 60%, actually 75% chance to silence, and a 95% chance to unbuffable. Oh, no, sorry, this is 10. So it's an 85% chance to silence and a 100% chance unbuffable on S3. AoE unbuffable and silence is pretty ridiculous, and you can't debuff, or you can't, like, you know, reset the skill. You can't reset the skill or decrease or anything like that, which is totally cool. Don't know how impactful this is going to be. This feels basically like a better Broman S3. However, it's not 2 turns, so it's not going to be used to, I don't know, maybe cheese someone like Mediator Calric, which is whatever. But okay, that's just her skill 3. Let's keep moving along. All right, I guess we could take a look at the animation. Sorry, let me not skip it. Okay, all right. Her S2 reads that at the start of battle and at the end of her turn, grant stealth for 1 turn. Cool. Honestly, this is pretty standard feeling now for epicseven. It feels like if you want to be good at the game, or if you want to be impactful, you got to be stealth, and you either can't be pushed back like Benevolent Roman, or you need to have some sort of like I can't be touched passive like ML Luna. And I mean, Festive Ida is kind of the same, and she grants herself stealth, which is pretty cool. But I mean, again, depending on whether you choose to use her as an opener, if you're choosing to use her at that 280 speed, this looks like it won't be that big a deal, so long as, I don't know, you aren't fighting someone like Last Piece Karen. She's granted shyness when you are not stealth, which is very interesting, because it reads here that, you know, shyness is like a special unique buff to her. But if you end up having shyness, you activate expected outcome. Now, like, the thing that's crazy about this is that, to be clear, I think that an 85% chance to defense break puts her in line with Ran and characters like that. However, it does mean that you're going to have to run effectiveness on her. It doesn't look like you can just, you know, make her all damage necessarily. However, while the game plan and like the cogs, you know, the cogs are kind of spinning or kind of turning in terms of like what this character is supposed to be, it stops turning and things are a little bit confusing, because it says at the start of the turn, when the caster is not stealth, that's when you debuff, or that's when you dispel all debuffs and you grant yourself shyness. So the thing that's kind of weird about this is that, like, again, despite having a very impactful S2 passive, you have to get hit in order to grant shyness. Like, it's almost like you were given the stealth to not, like, to basically not use the stealth, which is very interesting, just because obviously, like, ideally you would want the defense break. Arguably now in this case, since you are going to be getting hit and you do want the debuff, I guess you're just going to be high HP and or defense plus effectiveness, which I guess ultimately will mean that you're probably going to be built like Solitaria, which is okay, I guess. But it just feels a little bit weird because like this whole stealth passive sounds cool for, like, you know, allowing Solid or for allowing Ida to kind of be safe. But then the second part of her kit says, please stop being safe so you can actually activate the second part of your kit. It's a weird feeling. Now moving along, we could see this, which is okay. Actually, let me take a look at how much health they have on the Ida here. Yeah, the Ida that they have for this build, you might not be able to see it, but that says 20,000 HP. So at least, or even from epicseven's point of view, maybe not worth it to be built as a damage dealer, which is okay. However, I don't really know what the value is in even granting her stealth. I guess it's just like the equivalent to being given 50% mitigation, but she's 20,000 HP anyway, so like it's kind of conflicting. It's like if it's kind of the equivalent to like one of the big beefy tanks, or like even Solitaria being all built HP and giving them guiding light for some reason. It's like wouldn't you just want them to get hit or like be able to tank for, I don't know, some character like Spectre, whatever. Okay, so we saw the animation. Oh wait, sorry. Can't skip this one. That's so funny, by the way. It didn't even push back. Well, oh wait, does it push back? Here. Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, that's a pretty hefty like pushback. That's literally AoE Zeo S3 if you manage to proc that, which is really crazy. Really crazy. Don't get me wrong. Her S1 is interesting. This is in what, a 75% chance to decrease hit chance, but it's only on one character. I have a feeling that people will end up either using Book or Solitaria, or not Solitaria, Fairy Tale Tenebria's artifact as the artifact of choice here. But I mean, like, okay, you saw what this is like a weird showcase because it's not like she even did anything here, but like, yeah, okay, I'm assuming that in some cases, maybe if you're not trying to be built fast, maybe running counter and having your allies get, or having your team get constantly blinded is annoying, but 2-turn blind, it is what it is. Now for her artifact, she's got 30% effectiveness, and after attacking on the caster's turn, when the target is inflicted with the debuff, increases CR of the caster by 12%. I mean, if you want effectiveness and you're a mage, this could be kind of fine, I guess. Like, maybe this could even be used on someone like Sage Ball, depending on what kind of game plan you're working with here. But I don't really know how effective this will be, just because, like, in all honesty, why would you not just run Book? Or like, even if you want this, like, why wouldn't you just run, I don't know, like Dizzy's artifact for debuffs? I don't know, or for CR push. It just, I don't think that the combat readiness of this character is going to be like the biggest play here, or is going to be like the biggest impact. Having proof, I'm sure, I'm positive, is also going to be like pretty good on her, especially because you don't want to get one shot when you're playing Ida and you're trying to ramp up and get like her S2. But it also feels like there's no real game plan for Ida outside of just getting hit. So like, even one of the more defensive options may end up being better. Who knows? Like, maybe even running something like Bloody Rose, so that she's like a super annoying kind of, I guess, like pest basically on your team that's debuffing the enemy and you're healing up your allies. It kind of looks like you can't play her kit out fully until you get her S2, and you just have to wait to get hit. So maybe you end up taking this against like counter characters. I mean, as you saw in the showcase, they ended up taking it against, I believe, Holiday Euphine, which again is pretty cool. Having additional answers to Holiday, or not to Holiday Euphine, to Abyssal Euphine, rather. She has Holiday Euphine on her team, is going to be pretty cool here. Again, so she has like her S3, and like, again, that's totally fine. However, again, like, you're seeing how much damage she's taking here. She's got to have like a decent amount of effectiveness so that she could tag, likely at least 100 or to like 130. And like, you do set up a cleave team. However, like, and something that I'm a little bit concerned about, as you are probably all familiar with when it comes to characters like this, is that although it sounds cool in theory, like, oh my gosh, and then as soon as you do this ability, you know, like everyone, you know, or like you get like this special effect, like, oh, all you have to do is just let the enemy hit you first. Look at like the current state of like the left side team. Now, like, luckily, right, despite getting hit by the Abyssal Eufiend here, right, the entire team does get to obviously like do like the debuffs, but one more Elbrus here and the entire team is dead. So it feels like the kit is a little bit suspect, just because, again, like, who in their right minds like enjoys the look, there's 2 hits here that could have procced Elbrus and the game was over if they got hit. And I'm assuming that Charlotte isn't on, like, you know, holy sack or something, right? Like, it feels super weird to show that off. And even for, you know, old characters, or for those of you familiar with characters like Celine, like, this was kind of like a big issue that characters like this used to have, which is that, like, you have to let the enemy do something really vile to you, and then you're like, oh, and now it's my turn. Which, again, there's so many, like, there's so many variables at play that it, like, doesn't really feel that safe. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you'll let them hit you, or like maybe you let them hit you and now you can like debuff them, but now like your whole team is at 1 HP. Like, look at how close the health bar, like the health is of like all these characters. Like, this is a very dangerous playstyle and sounds fit or seems suited for a cleave playstyle, but it doesn't feel good, if I'm being completely honest with you. That sort of playstyle doesn't feel really good. Now, again, to be clear, I think that her kit, a lot of what she has to offer, looks really interesting. If I had to just be honest, and again, like, I know I haven't necessarily been super in tune with exactly what the meta has been at times, but in almost no scenarios that I've ever seen has being hit, especially the way that you are trying to get hit when it comes to Ida, has ever really been like a good idea. If at all possible, even with characters like Abyssal Eufiend, people will run stuff like Elbrus so that they don't have to wait until the enemy hits them in order for them to be good. And otherwise, if you're trying to get hit, in most cases, it's a character like Ed or Designer Lilibet who's fighting against cleave characters, and it's more reliable or more like obvious when you're picking them to specifically counter like whatever unit is like hitting them. Ida cleanses herself, and arguably, you know, if you have something like her artifact, maybe you have a bit more CR manipulation, but 5-turn cooldown or 4-turn cooldown, I believe, on her S2, and you have to get hit first in order for you to use her S2 passive. Feels a little bit weird. However, again, I think her animations, her design look absolutely spectacular. Smilegate really cooked, and they know what audience they're playing to here. However, I don't know. I would say that, honestly, it feels a little bit difficult right now to say whether or not she's going to be super mega OP or anything like that, because at least right now, it seems like at best, you may use her in like some sort of standard gaming variation where you're trying to beat up slow players, and despite them showing off a team that looks more cleave heavy, which, just by the way, this is like maybe the weirdest or like wackiest looking comp I've ever seen. We'll see what she'll actually end up resulting in. Again, I don't think anyone in their entire life has run Holiday Eufiend, Celine, and Sharklet. I'm assuming that they're just using these characters because they're summer, which is like fine, cool, whatever. But at the same time, like, I don't think there are that many exceptional teams that you would run into right side that, again, you wouldn't have done better with someone like Ran or Ash, Mance, or Elena. Like, so, okay. Regardless, I think she's cool. Excited to see how she does or what she ends up being, how people test her. And who knows? Maybe she'll be really good for Arena or Guild Wars. And that's it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again for watching. I know it's been a while since I've been an E7 video, but hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. Let me know what you think about Ida in the comment section below, and I'll see you all next time. Make sure to check out the rest of my socials. Like, comment, subscribe. all that jazz. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Good night.